what was it about real estate that hooked you so that you took your entertainment career on hold to pursue that? What was it about real estate that was so? I mean, yes, the money, of course, but was it just the money or beyond that?
Okay, so allow me some time to develop this and show it, because now we're going into a different temperature, see?
Altogether,
Because
yeah.
you have to allow me now to make the transfer now into a different weather here, different climate,
Absolutely.
right? I started out young in real estate, right? When I got my real estate license in New York, the Secretary of State sent a letter with it saying that I was the youngest ever to get a real estate license in New York in them times, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And then a couple of years after I ventured out into the mortgage part of real estate, I went to mortgage school to learn about mortgages and them things there. And then I end up becoming the first black mortgage broker in New York State.
Really?
So with all those accolades, I couldn't run away and leave that, because I went to the school, do the studies and the research and stuff to learn about the rudiments of these things. So I didn't just go to learn, I say, oh, to just go and originate a mortgage. I want to know the rudiments of a mortgage, how a mortgage is built, what goes into it.
Yeah, yeah.
How is it that it's affecting our community? How is it that, a Jamaican woman who is now left with all the grand picnic and the house and the mortgage and all the bills because the father, right, or the son has been grabbed up and deported to Jamaica, maybe with just a shirt on his back. And everything was forfeited and seized by the government. And now mama or granny or wifey left with all of the picnic them and all of the bills. And then all of a sudden them start getting to foreclosure because they can't manage by themselves because that other income is not there. You see, a lot of our people is going through the suffering. They pay the price. They're the living sacrifice, like Uncle Bob said. But they don't really know how to resolve those issues. So that's why I put that aside and I spend my time to learn to go study deep on the rudiments of these things and how come, that woman missing 3 payments can never catch up back to get back in line with our mortgage to keep our house. And because there's so many sharks out there coming at them, offering everything to help them, but the only thing they want is their property, the land and the improvement on it, which they call a house, right? But it's all about the land, because the house is just the improvement on the land, and without the land, Wall Street can't run. So when we go study and find out all these things, I have to put my time, and the whole of me into it to comprehend how it's happening, that they're doing all this gentrification and these eviction and all these things in our community. They change our community, and a lot of it is deceptive and unlawful. But in our community, we really have no law firms. You have one and two, individual practitioners who are attorneys who went to law school, but we don't have any law firms. All of the banks, they have big law firms. We have, hundreds of attorneys and hundreds of paralegal and secretary and stuff coming at you to come take your things. Even if you go get a little attorney in the community and you can't pay me, right?
Work with the bigger heads, them bringing bigger money.
So when I ask, I realize that things are written in the stars. Don't worry when people are talking about necromancy and obvious. There are things that are written in the star that is with you from the womb to the tomb. You can't get away from it. Some people name is made by them, circumstance. Some people circumstance give them a name. I say, like the youth, the bell where the police them do whatever. Nobody knew about him till that incident. Him get a name. Trump, just by him name, him destiny is secure. You see what I say? So you have to know what is your destiny by studying the stars, and the star putting in place for you. So I was fortunate enough when I went to mortgage school, I ended up being tutored by one of the Jewish Rebbe, the Messiah, Meshiach, the one they call the Rebbe. Mayor Schneerson, the one that's buried in Cambria Heights there with them, guard and all,
And you mean the one that
the-
Eastern Parkway is like?
Yeah, his picture is all over. He was one of my tutors,
Yeah.
right? And him tell I a thing in one of the lessons, Him say, listen, I want you to pay keen attention, not just attention. He said, keen attention to the lessons that I'm giving you here and the lessons that you're getting in the classroom, right? Because that is what's gonna help you. I want you to study the system, because when you know the system, it will help you. And listen, we know the system because we put it together. It's based off the Mosaic law. You tell me that straight, right?
What is that law?
The system is based off the Mosaic law.
What is the Mosaic law?
I guess it's the Jewish laws,
Or is the Mosaic? Oh,
Wait, look up it now, man. Rabbis in any community, in the Jewish community, period, are huge educationally and academically,
Spiritually, yeah.
and spiritually, right?
And racially.
When
Same.
they recognize brilliance, for some reason that is attractive to them. I think what it is that he saw the eagerness and the brilliance that was in, and decided to invest in him, because the things that he was sharing, mostly shared with his own people. But as he took him as a Jew, also a black Falasian, did he?
I can't conjecture that either, because I don't know why. He was just doing it as an elder to me, because I didn't know
But there was a
certain things.
relationship that you.
basically.
Yeah, so certain things I didn't know
And
why he
had
was
to
doing it.
respect you intellectually to even begin to go down that path, because
I don't know if that was it or he was trying to teach me how to be intellectual. Right? Because he shared some
he
things
wouldn't
with
do it
me.
if he didn't have a foundation there for him to build.
Yeah, he
on.
shared some things with me.
Aware that
when me-
the,
yeah.
the world is run by the Jew interests.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Basically, that's what he's telling me.
Well,
And normally
basically
they
that's
don't
how I
share
caught
that.
it.
Time to learn from that.
Yeah, they don't share
Listen,
that.
me just a give you listen, me just a give you a tidbit to now go read the book, forget the whole thing, and it a mess up the interview, Rasta. So me I do and I change my temperature. So me I do it. So me just giving you that for sure, no say I was fortunate enough to get all these tutors, that tutoring in my young 20s. So them things they help me today, cause him tell me to be keen and study the system. Who would I know that?
But himself, he run by the Mosaic.
Mosaic.
So, based on him saying you run on the Mosaic system, what did you learn from him expressing that to you?
I go study the system and that end there, so that's my answer.
Okay.
I follow his lead and I study the system. That's why I'm here today and can tell you
So what
about
did you
it.
study
You see
about
what I
this?
deal with?
Being educated by Rabbi, give me his name again?
Oh, his name is Mayor Schneerson.
Mayor Schneerson.
All right. They call him the Rebbe.
The Rebbe.
Meaning-
That's all we know. The
and-
Rebbe. And when you're from Brooklyn, well, I'm from Canarsie. So we had a lot of Rebbe's followers there. But when you're in Brooklyn and exposed to the Jewish community, you know that this person is significant, important beyond words. And this was the same man who tutored you?
Who the Jewish community says their Messiah.
They absolutely do.
Yeah, and that make
My
me realize
neighbors
that, all right,
idolized him.
yeah, but he is the Messiah for the Jewish community.
Yeah, yeah.
Selassie is the Messiah for the Black Rasta community,
Yeah, yeah.
and Jesus is the Messiah for the Europeans. That's how I see it. That's my take. I don't forget it. But when I look on that, I say, wow, why are we making separation and classification? Every man have a right to find their own God, because His Majesty said, let no man sell you God.
Right.
Read and find truth for yourself.
That's right.
So we read and find truth for yourself, and we are share some here with you, which is our truth based on our works and times and legacy. So that's what I'm here putting and film is I legacy and I footprint that is indelible. No one can rub out I footprint in this entertainment thing when I talk about. So we were on the real estate, and see me switch chimes. So me find out that, they're just taking away our people homes in our community with some bogus referee deed, and they find all kind of stratagem to do it. And we don't have any sound representation in our community to go up against these banks and these big law firms. So I have to indulge myself in it to study and find out what's going on. So it captured me, enveloped me, and that's the suit that I wear daily. It's hard to get away from it with all that's going on right now, because them kind of tip it up, because there's a lot of RICO activity. If you go to the courts in Brooklyn or Queens, especially landlord-tenant court, it's packed. Everybody I get evicted, especially in our Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
So I did everybody under foreclosure.
Yeah.
See? Even though the governor in New York signed something called the Foreclosure Abuse Prevention Act, the attorney them ignore that. They don't even look at it. Yeah. And we know, and I'm telling you, so we know, and it's coming to our edge, because every governor in the state, in every state, have the right to cancel out on the mortgage, because they're the commissioner of land. You see, you never know that. The governor is the one who can cancel out your mortgage based on the COVID emergency order that was signed by Trump, and it's still in place. All mortgages are delinquent, and all mortgages have to be forgiven and canceled. But they won't tell you that, because they can't voluntarily do it. You have to make a demand. So you have to make a demand on the governor or the CFO of the mortgage bank to forgive first, forgive your mortgage based on the COVID-related executive order, emergency order.
But that go beyond COVID.
Nothing. You have to ask, you have to not ask, but demand, right? The forgiveness of your mortgage, the forgiveness of the mortgage, they can't, after them forgive it, they have to cancel it because it's forgiven, and then they have to release it off the record. But no one can do it for you unless you make the demand. It will never happen because they can't voluntarily do it, even though Congress put the law in place. You see, nothing is done voluntarily. They say power concede nothing without a demand or a claim. And when you demand it, if they don't do it because there's a congressional law for it, if they don't do it, then no, you can sue them for everything, because no, they've breached a duty owed to you by the laws and the statutes in place. You see, you have to know these things. These things we go study, these things are Rebbe teach. That's why I tell life to study the system, right? So your mortgage right now is forgivable, and then they have to cancel it after you demand the forgiveness, and then they have to release it from the record. And the governor, your state, is the one who has the authority to cancel out your mortgage.